Take the beautiful orchid flowers before you, for instance. They are the perfect showcase of Taiwan's world-class horticultural techniques. And Australia is now the world's fourth largest importer of these famous Taiwanese orchids. I should also like to point out that Australia is Taiwan's biggest energy supplier, and Taiwan aims to reach 20% renewable energy generation targeted by year 2025. We look forward to more opportunities for collaboration with Australia in this domain, so as to achieve these ambitious targets and assist in upgrading our industries. Besides economic collaboration, the Taiwan government will continue to promote more educational and cultural exchanges, as well as people-to-people linkage between Taiwan and Australia. In February this year, for the first time, Taiwan's National Palace Museum exhibits a collection of its masterpieces in Sydney. Later this month, the performance workshop of Mr. Stan Lai, 表演工作坊赖声川, an award-winning playwright and theater director will present their popular show, The Village, 宝岛一村, to OZHR Festival at Adelaide, South Australia. Nowadays, we are over 20,000 Taiwanese young people travel to Australia every year under Australia Working Holiday Maker Program. Australia is now the second largest destination for Taiwanese students studying overseas, with over 10,000 enrollments in year 2018. More than 600 Australian students visit Taiwan under the new Colombo Plan. The Australian Institute of International Affairs, AIIA Victoria, is organizing a study tour to visit Taiwan in November this year. So, we see Taiwan and Australia share a lot. Just like many friends said, we share this Indo-Pacific region. We share a friendship and an economic partnership. We share the value of democracy, freedom, human rights, the rule of law. And we share the belief that we can make it deeper and stronger. If I may express my sincere gratitude for the Australian government's support of Taiwan's international participation, I would like to emphasize that Taiwan has always been a responsible stakeholder of the international community, and we are willing to participate more actively in international affairs. Let's work together to make a real difference in the Indo-Pacific. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me a toast? To the continued warm relationship between Taiwan and Australia, to the prosperity of our two nations, may all of you enjoy good health and success. 我们是不是一起举杯，祝贺中华民国及澳大利亚国泰民安，国运昌隆 ？Cheers！ Thank you. Enjoy the evening. 谢谢。
Pleased to welcome the Honourable Luke Donnellan, Minister for Child Protection, Minister for Disability, Ageing and Carers, Co-Chair of the Victoria-Taiwan Parliamentary Friendship Group, to deliver his speech.
Thank you. I'd like to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we stand, pay my respects to their elders past and present, acknowledge them as the longest living civilisation in the world, how fortunate we are to have them here. I'd also like to acknowledge specifically the Director General, Abraham Lin, and the work you do and your team's done to put on tonight, and thank you very much for having me here. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight on the 108th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan. The relationship is very strong. The growth in terms of exports is around 14% with Victoria in the last 16, 17, 18 year. Imports from Taiwan have grown approximately 4.3% in that same period of time. So there is an enormous amount of work going on with both trade officials at a state level for the Victorian government, but also what TICO does and the enormous work they do. We know Taiwanese community here has an enormous influence. You've only got to look at Box Hill to see the enormous influence the Taiwanese community has had both there in terms of the development of Box Hill, but also, to be blunt, the politics around the local area. I've only got to look at Tina Liu in front of me to know that the Taiwanese are contributing extensively to the community, the growth of the community. Obviously, I've got to move beyond Box Hill and start looking further up the hill in Doncaster and places like that. But look, it's a very healthy relationship. It's marvellous to be here as a state government minister to join you on this day. I'm not going to make a long speech because I think most of you probably know a whole lot more about these matters than I do, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity to say words, and cheers. Thank you.
But it's a great pleasure, I said, to be here, and as was mentioned, I'm one of the co-chairs with Luke of the Parliamentary Friends of Taiwan, and that's a very important group from the Parliament of Victoria's perspective, because the state of Victoria and Taiwan do have a very warm and close and growing relationship on a number of levels. And I was very privileged a couple of weeks ago to be on a parliamentary delegation that visited Taiwan, and it was just tremendous to be able to see some of the innovation, to see what was going on over there in terms of the economy, to have a number of important meetings and to visit some very interesting and expanding companies and entrepreneurial businesses. And in particular, it was interesting, we went to Taiwan Excellence and we were able to see firsthand many of the wonderful products that have been homegrown, if you like, in Taiwan, and to see the way that those products have been developed there and then exported and expanded all around the world. And particularly I thought of one as I was reading on the plane on the way over. There was the repurposing of plastic drink bottles into very efficient sportswear, that, for example, for the use of cycling. And I was thinking how innovative and how important that is, not only for Taiwan but for the world as a whole, and it's certainly something that we could do with at the moment here in Victoria. So it really was a marvellous trip and a great opportunity for us as members of Parliament to be able to interact with members of the Parliament and ministers over there in Taiwan, and to just continue to grow that very important relationship. Because as we said, it's more than economic, it's more than business, because it is a people-to-people relationship. And it's wonderful from the Parliament of Victoria's perspective that we share such a warm and friendly relationship with Taiwan and, of course, with the community of Taiwanese people here in Victoria. So it's a great pleasure to be able to join everyone here tonight on the 108th anniversary and to join in the celebrations, and I wish everyone well for the rest of the night. Thank you.